I woke up late at about 8, knew I had a Ballerina review to make. I gotta get it out before your day begins so I can share this video with all my friends. That is a reference to 6 in the Morning by Ice-T, which inspired Boys in the Hood by Eazy-E, but 6 in the Morning was inspired by Schoolie D's PSK, Parkside Killers, a 70s, no, it's an 80s gangster rap record. By many, it's considered to be the first gangster rap record. So Philly gangster rap inspired LA gangster rap, which inspired the world, which brought a ton of violence upon my community. So, thank you, maybe? I don't know. But speaking of violence, I saw Ballerina. It is the latest entry in the John Wick universe, the fifth film in totality. It is the only spin-off of the series, and it stars Ana de Armas. She is a young orphan turned assassin seeking to avenge her family. And in that path, she obviously destroys human bodies and removes souls from bodies in very creative ways. And I think that is why you're here for this movie. And this movie does execute, quite literally. But what it also does, I think in the beginning, is drag a bit. Now, you have the task of establishing a new character to a familiar universe, and we don't necessarily give a fuck about characters in this universe. So it's a bit difficult for us to, for me at least, to like really want to go through a 30-minute setup, maybe. Yeah, I think about a half hour of a setup of like who this character is and why she's gonna become who she becomes. I don't care. I really don't care. The first John Wick did a bit of that, obviously, but it was a bit quicker. It felt like, oh shit, like dude's wife is dead, whatever. Keanu Reeves is not the best emotional actor around, so I care about that to a degree, but he's not selling me on that. But the dog dies. Oh shit, like this is getting crazy. Then it just blows up, right? This is a bit more gradual of a progression, which is okay. But this movie is about 2 hours long, and I do feel like the first half hour, like I said, is a bit of a drag. After that, though, you do get into the more John Wick-esque moments, and there are some wonderful set pieces. Like if you are familiar with the franchise, you understand that like everything about this franchise is elegant. Like the cars, the suits, the guns, like the guns here, I mean, they're $10,000 rifles. Like they're absurd guns, and they're cool because like I don't know if you're a gun nerd. I'm not like a huge gun nerd, but like I'm like, is that a G36? Like it looks like a G36. Oh, that's a this, whatever, right? I didn't even say words right there, but you got what I was saying, and I like that. I like that about this movie and this franchise in general. I also like how there's always an extension of lore. I feel like the first John Wick movie was like, when you're early in a video game and you're like an hour and a half of gameplay in and you pause and you get to the map and the map has a bunch of blacked out areas that you haven't traversed yet. This is like that. The first John Wick movie, very linear path, a lot of like lore left to be wondered about. In each entry, they expand on that in a way that I think is pretty interesting. In fact, they do something in this movie that I think really deserves a bit of a mini-series or a series itself, where they have this village, and the village is a little bit reminiscent of like Resident Evil 4 in a sense that every person in this village is nefarious. I mean, Resident Evil 4, you have the merchant. The merchant is cool. I like them. And then you have a couple characters that are like decent enough to help you. Anyway, kind of same thing in this though. Like you have this village, and a lot of the village is about murder. And there's a lot of murderers in the village. And it's cool. It's like a really cool thing, and I want to know more about the lore of this village. I want to know how it came to be. I want to know about its previous leaders. I want to know all about it. How did the kids grow up in this? Because there's actually the camera shot has this framing, but the edge of the framing, my fault. The edge of the framing contains this like kid's drawing, and the drawing has a rifle. There's a rifle in the drawing. And it's crazy. Welcome to America. But yeah, I really think this movie is a solid time. If I'm giving it a number, I'm giving it a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 for me is average. It's a serviceable movie if you're into the action series of John Wick. And obviously this is an extension of that. You will enjoy it probably a bit more than I do. I just think John Wick is fun. I don't think it's something that I like need to see all the time. Like I haven't rewatched those movies, but maybe one time I watched the first one again because it was a rescreening. And during that rescreening, I actually saw an early sneak peek of Ballerina. This was months ago. That's why I saw Ballerina opening night, because I felt like, the sneak peek was cool, but a bit redundant at this point. And I'm saying that in reference to both me and the franchise. I will say this, though. Lupe Fiasco has a lyric where he's like, did you improve on the design? Did you do something new? Well, you're naming on the guest list who brung you. You, the more famous person, you come through. And the sexy lady next to you, you come too. And that makes me think about this movie. This movie it didn't improve on the design. It didn't do anything new. But its name also isn't on the guest list. So who brung it? John Wick brung it. John Wick brought this to us. And I think a lot of people will see this by association. Like, this is an extension of a world they're familiar with, a world they cherish, and the trailers reveal certain things that make you even more excited for that sort of thing. And that is going to be a good time for you. But for me, again, I don't think I need to see another entry in this franchise. And I really would be satisfied with the spinoff about the village. But that's it. That's all I got for you. This is really not a good review. I don't really have much to say. Actually, I think I said a lot. I think I just hopped around too much. I don't know. If you want to see more of this, like, subscribe. This is the production value, by the way. I'm not going to try. Like, I care about movies. I see movies for context. I did an introduction. I don't think I talked about my, like, movie experience. I said I didn't, like, grow up knowing film or anything like that. But I do go to the movies quite a bit. I would say I've gone to the movies 5 or 6 times a month pretty consistently for the last couple of years. And I see everything, like the AMC and Cinemark near me. They do the reoccurring mystery screenings where you go in blind. Like, I appreciate stuff like that. So I'm willing to see pretty much any genre, any era of film. One of my favorite movies ever is Rear Window. Alfred Hitchcock, obviously. That's 1954. I love Tarantino movies. I love Sinners. I love blues music. I love music in general. You see a lot of music behind me. So I'm a person that just really appreciates the art. I can't make the art, but I appreciate the art. So there's not going to be really much of a technical analysis here, but there is going to be a regular person's opinion on the matter of movies. And if you appreciate that, then you might appreciate me. So thanks for being here. Ooh, 7 minutes. This is a good length. Sometimes 7 is all you need, people. That's all you need. Anything longer might be a bit of a bore, you know? Too much to explore. You don't really get to all of it. You get what I'm saying, right? You get me. Peace.